Mike, I know we got some Twitter questions. I'm going to go around the horn with them.
Let's go full force with them. All right, we got my boy at Philly Got Soul. He says, who deserves the most credit for our 2-0 start? Howie, Doug, Schwartz in the defense, or Carson?
Carson? Come on, guys.
The Eagles' defense did help out a lot the last game. They changed the momentum of the game, in my opinion, from those turnovers.
So you're saying defense?
Defense on this one. You know, I'm very impressed with Carson. I love Carson, but this defense is showing up and helping us win, in my opinion. Not helping them score.
It's you got to look at what's on the field and then work backwards. That's an incredibly difficult question for me to answer because Carson looks like a seasoned veteran in the second game, right? Then you go to Jim Schwartz in the defense, scheming up that defensive plan to be attack style and get the ball back in Carson's hands. But we can't ignore what's happening off. You know, what's happening off the field. Somebody tweeted at me earlier, and it's worth bringing up, that even if the Eagles go 500 this year, how does Howie Roseman not win General Manager or Executive of the Year?
All the moves he did? He has to win it.
We would not be in this position if it wasn't for Mr. Howie Roseman. And the Fix-It video might be a year old. And what a change 365 days make. But we wouldn't be in this position, and they wouldn't have fixed it if it wasn't for Howie Roseman.
And if you didn't make that video.
And if I didn't make, they were listening, right? Yeah, okay, whatever.
Another Twitter question from our friend Edster at Edster32. He says, if we beat the Steelers and go 3-0, how much will the bye week affect Wentz and the team's momentum?
I think the bye week will help. I think we can regroup during that time.
Great.
Earlier bye week is never a good thing with a seasoned veteran team, with a young rookie quarterback like Carson Wentz, a young team, a new offense. Having an early bye is not a bad thing at all.
I think it'll help, especially with Lane Johnson out. You know,
Yeah,
two
going
weeks
next week
to
to
figure out
prepare.
what's going to go down.
Give the boys
So,
time
yeah,
to recharge.
Yep, I agree.
All right, let's hit it again.
We got another question from our friend at Stephen K137. He says, what's your thoughts on the Jim Schwartz defense so far this season after 2 games?
Aggressive. They swarm to the ball. They attack. They're not afraid to hit. Brandon Graham, may I apologize right now. Perhaps I was wrong about you this entire time. It's making mediocre players look good. The secondary needs to step it up.
I agree.
Definitely.
All right, another question from our friend Simone at Tennessee Honey. She says, why in back-to-back weeks we use a different wide receiver on the goal line fade routes? Let me make this more sense.
No, why aren't they throwing it to DGB?
Yeah, pretty much.
We don't know.
We have no idea.
We're all wondering.
I'm just quoting from what
That's one
she
of the
said
Peterson-
to me.
Right. That's
That's
one of the things that I think Peterson I've questioned is his personnel packages. Why 9 carries for Ryan Matthews yesterday? Why no DGB on the goal line? So hopefully Justin makes these things happen. Maybe he's just experimenting right now, but they need to figure that out.
I mean, at all the routes, that's DGB's route.
Yes.
I mean, that's the route that
He
he
owns
runs
that.
the best. I mean,
I feel like we'd be
You gotta
all
prove
day
It'll
right
happen.
there.
It'll happen.
One more Twitter question, Mike.
All right, another question from at Justin from SWP. He says, when starting a team, who are you taking, Wentz or McNabb?
I would take Wentz right now. Honestly, I think I'm sorry. I think when he's got all that time on him, he's gonna be just as good
I
or
can't answer
better
that
later on
question.
down the
Too
line.
I can't. It's too early. That's what I'm saying. It's too
It's
early.
hard.
I
It's
can't
hard.
right now.
Think of him when we lost that finally. Think of him then.
That's a
It'd be
really
amazing.
tough question to answer, but I will say this about it. Donovan never liked to dive into the playbook. And that's something that I didn't observe. That's something that Merrill Reese told me. That Donovan didn't study a lot of times. Yeah, at Lehigh, when I was working for the Eagles. You know, I was sitting down having lunch with him. He didn't like to dive into the playbook. A lot of times he had to be explained the plays in the huddle. A little lazy on the books on the books there. Whereas Carson Wentz, you can already tell from a
rat.
Yeah, he's a film rat.
And he has such a student mentality, man.
And he has such an unbelievable capacity to retain knowledge, look at the defense, and apply what he was taught. Before we let everybody go, we just want to say the tailgate at Lincoln Financial Field for the Steelers game, we're going to be kicking off early. It's a 4 o'clock game, but you know it's going to be lit. As soon as the gates open, we're going to be in parking lot F1. Mike, are you going to be there?
I'll be there, of course, and then whoever does have tickets to the game, come meet us at Xfinity. We're going to throw a big bash over there. So
Preacher
show up.
E-Rock's going to be doing some baptisms if you want to jump on the
Yes.
wagon.
For Ginger Jesus.
Woo!
Your preacher right here is going to be baptizing you Eagles fans that are finally on the Wentz wagon. If you haven't been already, come and join the congregation. Come
Carson
and join.
316.
Exactly. It is going to be a fire tailgate. We're going to love it. Thanks to everybody that called in.
You guys are the best callers.
Thanks for all the Twitter questions. This show just flies by. I promise you, we're going to be giving you more content, more shows. We feel like we got so much more on the table, and we're going to be giving that to you. So until next time, we're just going to go ahead and do it with the song to get the outro. Because we're going to have a big win against the Steelers. We're going 3-0 into the bye, and we're going to get this thing done. So until next time, let's hear it.
E-A-G!